All right, let's face it, you guys. We make really good money as barbers. Depending on what barbershop you work at, maybe not as much as other careers, but we make more than people think we do. So, doesn't it suck if you're not able to get approved for a nice house or buy a nice car because, on paper you only make a really low amount? Yeah, that does suck. I know that because I've been there before. But I'm gonna show you guys what I do to manage my money better. So when it comes time to pay my taxes, I can claim what I really made and I can get approved, for a nice house and buy a nice car and actually be worth something, you know what I mean? And actually have some money in my savings. So I'm gonna show you guys the method that I use to manage my money. All right, you guys, so the way I manage my money, the way I distribute my income is I basically have 3 bank accounts, and they are I have Wells Fargo, which is my main account where all of my income comes in. My Square that I swipe, where you swipe your cards, it's connected to Wells Fargo. So all my money comes here to Wells Fargo. And then from Wells Fargo, it gets distributed to my other bank account, which is my spending account. It's Capital. And, I have horrible handwriting, but it's pretty much my owner's pay. I use this account to pay all of my bills, my rent, electric bill, gas, cable, whatever, all that. And then I have another account that's a Cash App account. I don't know, it says Square right there because Cash App it's Square actually, but it's my Cash App account, and it's my operating expenses. So I pay booth rent out of this. I pay the owner of the shop, I pay him booth rent through Cash App. Anytime I want to buy clippers, anything that has to do with anything that's business related, clippers, anything, it goes off of this right here, off of my Square account. So this is my operating expenses. So throughout the week, if I'm buying lunch, buying groceries, putting gas in my truck, just regular everyday spending, even paying bills, my rent, everything comes out of this bank account right here, my owner's pay. And the way I distribute it is I set this table up right here. So this is my income. On Saturday night, I don't touch any of my income, all the money that's coming in. That's the reason I chose Wells Fargo as my main bank, because I can deposit cash through the ATM. And so all of my income that comes in, I don't touch it until Saturday night when I'm done. At the end of the week, I take all of my money that accumulated in this Wells Fargo account and I insert it right here. And then once I insert it right here, you guys, I don't know if you know how spreadsheets work, but my owner's pay, if you look down here, it says times 0.6. So 60% of anything I type in right here is going to pop up right here. So if I type in $100, $60 is going to be right here. My profit, I have it set at 15%. My taxes, same thing, 15% right here. And then operating expenses is 10%. So if you do the math, that's 60%, and then 15 and 15, that's 30. So 60 plus 30 is 90%, and then this ends up being 100%. So this 10% is the last, to make it 100%. The total allocated, this is just kind of like just to check, make sure everything added up right. And I'll show you guys an example. So when I type in $100 right here and I push enter, it automatically splits it for me. $60 is going to my capital account, $15 is going to my profit account, $15 more dollars going to my taxes, and $10 is going to operating expenses, which is right here. So the total is 100. So just kind of goes to show that it added up. These right here, you don't need to have these. I added these because sometimes I send the money, owner's pay plus operating expenses. So sometimes I send it all into the same account, and I already know how much I'm sending to this account. And yeah, you don't need to add these. I just have them just in case I want to send, two things to one account. It's already, telling me how much it is. All right, so once it goes into my Wells Fargo account, so owner's pay and operating expenses gets distributed, right? So let's use real numbers. On a weekly basis, let's say you bring in, just an estimate, $17.50. So you bring $1,750. That's how much you made in 1 week cutting hair, right? Typically, you would just take all of that home and be like, okay, I made $1,750. I'm balling. I'm this and this and this and this. That's all good and all, but this is really what you want to do. You type it in right here. You pay yourself $1,050. That's what you want to do. And what did I do? Okay, here we go. So what we'd say, $1,750. Okay, so you pay yourself $1,050, right? That's getting transferred over to your capital account, your owner's pay. So you use that money to pay your bills, buy groceries, spend it on whatever you want. That's your money for your bills, for you to live. That's your pay. That's how much you're making a week, which is pretty good in some states, I guess. Then is your operating expenses, and we pay $125 in booth rent where I work at. So $175, that leaves you with what's that? $50 left over. So you send over $175. The $50 that is left over is your operating expenses. So once you pay your booth rent for the week, you have $50 left over, and if you don't use it, it just accumulates next week. So you got another $50 and another $50. Next thing you know, you got $200-$300, and it's your operating expenses. So you got money just to buy clippers and buy blades and just stuff that you need. All right, so profit and taxes, this is where it gets interesting. So in my Wells Fargo account, I have 2 more accounts that are savings accounts inside my Wells Fargo app, and it's my profit and my tax account. So these two values right here, these $262 would go to each one of these accounts, right? So all the money that came into Wells Fargo by Saturday night, I've already distributed it. $1,050 is going to me. $175 is my operating expenses, so it's going to my Cash App account, and then my profit and my taxes are going to my profit and tax accounts inside the Wells Fargo app. So now my income account is back to zero, and that's important because you want to make sure that, unless you can just do the math and stuff and subtract what you already have in there, but you want to make sure that on Tuesday you start from zero again. You know what I mean? That way by Saturday you can see what you actually made that week. And if you end up having like $50-$60 or whatever in there, then you would have to subtract that. But it's better if you just have it set back at zero so you can see what you make. All right, so my profit and my tax account, these two right here, over time, throughout the month, on the 10th and on the 25th, whatever day, it doesn't matter what day of the week it lands on the 10th and on the 25th, these two savings accounts that I have with Wells Fargo, it's really easy for me to transfer money back into my income if I ever need money for something. But you don't want to do that. You don't want that temptation. So what I do is on the 10th and the 15th, I send it over to 2 more accounts that are my Capital One accounts. And so I guess you could say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 accounts total. Now these 2 accounts are savings accounts that don't have no debit card, and it's not easy to transfer money out of them. So on the 10th and on the 15th, whatever I have in these accounts, I transfer them over to my Capital One accounts. So I got 2 more accounts with Capital One that say profit and tax, and these are my no temptation bank accounts. So that I don't have no debit card. If I want to take money out of these, it's going to take 2 to 3 days, however long it takes. If it's on the weekend, it's like 3 or 4 days sometimes. However long it takes to transfer, it's inconvenient, which is a good thing because you want your money not easy to get to. Okay, so over time, you're paying yourself. You're living off of this right here, the $1,050. Over time, you're gonna get used to that. You're gonna make do with that. Because if you only made 1,050 instead of 1,750, I guarantee you would make do with that. So you gotta adjust to your new income. So what's gonna happen over time is your taxes at the end of the year, your tax account is gonna be ready for you to go. So then you can actually claim what you made instead of having to put some low number so you won't have to pay that much taxes. You can actually claim what you really made and have the taxes ready for you right here. All the money that you will owe in taxes is gonna be sitting right here, and you're gonna be good to go. But that's not even the best part about it. The best part about it is this account right here. So what you do is every quarter of the year, you take out half of what you deposited that quarter. So say you deposited $600 in those 3 months. So it's every 3 months. You in the year quarterly. I guess it's it's every 3 months, but I forgot 1 month specifically. But anyways, you're gonna take out 50% of what you put in there. So 3 months you put in 600. Guess what? You take out 300 and you spend that on whatever you want. That's your money. That's your profit. That's what you made for being self-employed. You don't just get paid like an employee. You're self-employed, so you're making profit from your business. So every 3 months, you get your quarterly profit distribution, which is half of what you've been putting in this profit. You know what I mean? So throughout the year, what's going to happen is you're going to start to accumulate money in your profit account. Even if you're taking out half every 3 months, you're still accumulating money. So at the end of the year, you're going to have some money, a good amount of money saved up that you don't need. You've been taking your profit, your quarterly profit distributions, and you're going to have a good amount of money saved up right there. And then you're going to have another good amount of money saved up right here for your taxes. And then if you don't really spend too much money on clippers and stuff, I like to spend money on clippers, so this doesn't apply to me, but you're going to have a good amount of money right here too. Especially if at the end of the week, you don't have, you have a surplus in your operating expenses for booth rent. So what happens is you have more than what you owe in booth rent. Now, sometimes it's not going to work out that way. Sometimes, let's say you have a slow week and you only make $1,400 on a slow week. Well, I guess that'll still be enough. Let's use another number. Let me see. Let's say you made $1,200. Now you're $5 short on booth rent. That's not a problem. You can just send it over from your owner's pay. You send over those $5, so you're only gonna pay yourself, $715, which is, it's a slow week. So, like I said, you will learn to make do. And if you feel like this number right here, this is the one that you can work with, profit. If you feel like that's too much, you can always adjust. So what I mean by that is you can change that 15% to, let's say, 5%. So it's 0.5. All right. So now the owner's pay, what you do is you change that. You added the 10% that you took off of profit. You added to the owner's pay. So now you're paying yourself 70%. And see, it balances out right here. That's what this is for. So now you're bringing home $8,000, $840. Well, not 8,000. And so if you feel like your profit is too high, I like to keep it at 15. If it feels like it's getting a little too tight, I might bring it down. But 15 is okay for me. I can make do with that. And then out of your owner's pay, what you make, you can pay your. I got tithes right here, so I take out 10% of everything that I make. Owner's pay, I pay my tithes, so that would be like $80, $84, whatever it is. I take that out, and then I make do with that. So that's how I distribute my income, you guys. And I found that, following this routine or following this method has really helped me not only, accumulate savings, but at the end of the year, it helped me have that money ready for taxes, so it doesn't catch you by surprise. So now you got your taxes ready to go, and you don't have to worry about, not claiming what you make. And that's really important, because when it comes time to buy a house, when it comes time to getting a business loan, buying a car, anything that you want to do that requires you to have, your income, you're going to wish that you claimed more, because the bank doesn't care if you make $100,000 a year. If your tax return says you make 30, guess what? You make 30,000. They don't care how much you say you make. You can show them how many followers you got on this. They don't care about none of that. They want to see those tax returns. If those tax returns ain't adding up, you're not getting approved for a house. You're not going to be able to buy, you and your wife the house that you guys want. You're not going to be able to drive a nice car unless you're going to get a something, buy here, pay here. It's just not worth it. When I first started cutting hair, the idea was, hey, don't claim so much. That way you don't have to pay so much in taxes. Sounded good at the time, but now that I'm older and, I realize, hey, you can't do nothing if you don't have, proper proof of income. You know what I mean? People, it's like the banks don't respect you. It's like you make more money than other people that work regular jobs, and you see them getting approved for like really nice houses and this and that, and you can't do it because you're not claiming what you make on your taxes. So to the bank, you're pretty much broke. And but that's a good way to avoid that whole situation and treat your career for what it is, which is a career, and actually, reap the benefits of the income that you make. So that's how I do it, you guys. So there you guys go. That's how I manage my money. That's how I distribute my income. That's how I save money for tax time. And it's all based off this book that I read called Profit First. If you read it, then you know what I'm talking about. It's a really good book. And I appreciate you guys watching. Like and subscribe. If you have any questions, don't be shy to ask. I try to answer most questions. Sometimes I get questions that, I see them come in on my email, and I try to go reply to them, but I just forget. And, I apologize for that. But man, I appreciate all of you guys that subscribe to me, man. I can't believe I haven't dropped a video in like 2 months, and I'm still getting subscribers here and there. And I appreciate you guys for that. But anyways, I hope this video helped you guys, and I hope you apply it to your finances, because it could be really, really helpful. And see you guys next time.